I usually do that first. Usually I do it way ahead of time. But anyway, what else? Oh yeah, the priority traffic. You can cut in any time for emergency or priority, unless you just want to know what time it is. We don't want to button in for that. Or if you want to know how directions are to get somewhere, you can ask us later, or use Alexa, or one of those things. For information on this net, you can see me on YouTube, hear us. You don't necessarily want to see me even if you turn off your monitor. K4PE search block, or the one word, Brain Trusts, BRAINTRUSTS. Or you can see us on Yahoo Groups under the term MJ_SS, MJ_SS, or you can send me an email, K4PEW@ARRL.net, or our other real website, 146415.net. I think it's pretty easy to remember if you're using this frequency. Just look over at your radio and you'll see 146415. Just leave out the first decimal and put in the second one behind the event of a national or local disaster. But essentially, that's what ham radio operators will do in the event of some emergency. In the past, and I'm sure it'll be used many times in the future. I just hope we never have to use it here. But anyway, it's hard to be an antenna and a good radio and a good feed line to get that task performed if you can't communicate. We invited amateur radio events and activities in support of, well, it's for the community in regards to ham radio. Does anybody get, well, let me go first with mine. Wilson County Amateur Radio Club's net on 147.105. It's an information. And of course, we have our net on, we got our net on Saturday, of course. And then we've got a couple of nets next week. They also send out reminders, and we'll be talking about it on that Saturday. I don't know if it's huge information, but I sent out a reminder, not a reminder, but a notice about the Yahoo Groups thing, and to another easily accessible location. And I can also emails, but it wouldn't stay on the Yahoo site. Apparently, all of the stuff that gets uploaded to the site. I don't even think we can have message history on it. It's just a way to communicate easily on groups to send out messages to everyone you want them to. Anyway, we're going to be taking check-ins from the West today. Does anybody need any fill on the information about anything? All righty, well, we don't worry about that.
Good evening. I'm doing good, Paul. Y'all remember him in prayer. He thought maybe it might have been a heart event. They're still trying to figure out. So hopefully we'll know something tomorrow.
Oh, all righty. We're Centennial. Which one is Centennial?
3rd in Charlotte.
I don't imagine he's taking visitors anyway at this point.
Well, yeah, and he's a little anxious because he doesn't know exactly what's going on, and they're going to do a stress test tomorrow. The preliminary blockage may be behind or somewhere, so hopefully we'll know.
Well, I hope the best for him, and I hope that those people are from Ashland City, but he's at Centennial with unclear. Yeah, Mike, are you doing all right otherwise?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Well, just use this if you can. It's all in God's hands, man.
I got you.
There's a truth in there that most of us don't fully understand. All right, good to have you in there, Michael. There's Michael Kilo, Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, and he is in Rick's over at Centennial, so I hope you'll be thinking about him. Who else we got, Wes?
D4IAL.
Hey, I'm sorry, I forgot that you jumped in there. How you doing tonight?
All right. It's not full still. So I'm watching the video and
play in what you see and when it happens here. So he has talk, and then you'll see the meter move.
Right. No, I understand that. But the maybe that's what it is. Wait a minute, my computer doesn't think it just acts.
Yeah, you were just at a little over 40 over, so you're doing great.
No, I'm back up to 50. That's why I said,
Well, you're fine on audio.
Okay. Well, I figured it'd be easier to get out if I pumped a little horsepower behind.
Well, that's now people in Kentucky can hear.
Well, I don't know about Kentucky, but maybe.
I don't know. I get up into up in what's called up there in the Bowling Green pretty good on Simplex.
I don't doubt it with your setup.
Well, I guess it's my setup is just due to the elevation. I'm in a unique location, I think, here in Mount Juliet in Wilson County, and also I'm in a unique location that here I am 12 miles from Nashville. So we reach a lot of people on this net, even though not everybody participates. I'm kind of thankful about that because it would be overloaded if everybody.
Oh yeah, well that's fine too. I mean, it's always fun to do.
Oh yeah, no. I haven't done a recent count, but over at this point it's got 250. I don't know. I've checked in different hams. Some passing through town, and some just check in and say, "Oh yeah," but they don't feel any compulsion to. It's no great prize to talk to me. I understand. They got other things done in their life.
Oh yeah, I agree totally. And it's a pleasure when they do stop by. Definitely. Give you another number on your count like you needed. If I hear one and need to relay for starting place and Tampa Drive.
Yeah, that's Harold, Kilo Delta 4, India, Alpha Lima, great signal. Even at 5 watts, he's doing fantastic over there at our Tampa Drive. You said yes, that's what it is. Very good. I think I told you I don't think there's a Nashville road in Tampa. All right, who else we got? The West, please come in. Nothing. Well, we'll move on Mount Juliet, south of 40.
KE4 TYJ.
Hey, good.
Well, thank you, Paul. Doing good over here too.
Yeah, very good. Now that you're a week.
A couple more days left. We're gonna head to North Carolina.
You're just doing that so you can skip Saturdays, isn't it?
Well, not really, but it just works out that way. So I during the week.
No, it is rare to have you here on a Wednesday. You're right. Oh, it's good to have you here. Yeah, it's funny how the time goes.
I know it. There's only so much honeydews I can do, and I was walking around the house. This is what retirement's going to be like. I don't know if I can handle that.
Challenge, but what you have to do is you always have to make a list of the things you don't really want to get done. It's just a lot of work avoiding those things.
Oh, avoid the list.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's just you start with the really easy things like, hey, I got to get a donut, and then you just sit around and goof off for the next couple hours.
Well, I worked with the water filtration system today, and while I was doing the backwash, I was looking at my and hey, it works a little bit better. It's a little, and I was surprised.
Cool. Did without going into a lot of details, are you using a softener or?
Yeah, it's not a softener. Basically, it's a high dollar filter.
I hear I'm sharing some interference on it. I don't know what that is. Anybody? Huh. Somebody's breaking the squelch. Come on. Whoa. All right, I don't know what that is. All right. That's Jim in Woodbury. He's had the whole week off. enjoying his time off, trying to figure out what he's going to do when he doesn't have to work anymore. But he got a few years to work. Years. I've been able to managing to fill my days pretty nothing. Not doing nothing really, but doing things. It's a lot. It's actually very relaxing. You have to actually find things to do. It's easy to sit back and do nothing. It is. All right. Who else is next? Anybody else south?
Kilo Echo 4 Victor.
There you go. There's Larry down in Rockville, sitting around doing nothing all day.
Yeah, man. Sunday night. Do you ever listen to the Columbia repeater?
I have listened to the Columbia repeater, but not on Sunday nights. No.
Well, last Sunday night, I was picking that thing up, and it was about half straight, and I kept listening to it. Didn't recognize any of the call signs, but it was a Simplex net coming out of Birmingham.
Oh wow! I'm wondering if you can catch that again. Because we had a Simplex, I've heard of Simplex net some months ago. I don't remember when it was. And a guy checked in here from south of Birmingham. And it was just, conditions were fantastic. He wasn't even using a beam, he was using a vertical. So you must have caught that same net that they had.
Yeah, but why in the world would they be on a repeater frequency?
They were on a repeater. Makes sense, does it?
Alabama.
Well, no. I do. They may. Well, I don't really know. I can't answer that question. Why anybody would want, unless they were doing. There are some groups do it on purpose that when they're having an emergency, like an Aries group, if the repeater goes down, they simply defer their decision.
Okay. Well, I know we had multi Tennessee, Arkansas. I mean Georgia. They were coming in from everywhere. I thought I'd throw it in there. KE4SY.
Interesting, because it's the second time. Well, obviously the second time that I've heard something that came in that strong out of Birmingham. Huh, yeah, because that's a good stretch. It's got to be almost 150, 100, maybe 200 miles, maybe. All right, very good. That's Larry and Rockville, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. Who else? Anybody else south? Please come in.
KM4DV. November.
Hey, hold on, David. We've got I got Dan here, right here in Mount Juliet. It's DX in Mount Juliet.
He's help figuring out how to do nothing in retirement. I give classes.
For him, because you're too busy doing nothing.
Absolutely. If you can't watch the grass grow during retirement, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, times, but I generally have something to do. Like right after the net, I got to go out.
The person I worked with said he really dreads or extra things outside of work. You should be fine during retirement.
I think so. No, I think that's the key to everything, really. And again, even if you enjoy, oh my gosh, I mean, you could call leathercraft work, but if you're enjoying it as a craft, you're not doing it. You're not trying to get rich. Is one of the most expensive hobbies there is. We don't need any money from it.
Yeah, tell me about it. I got it.
I'm glad that I can afford it. Okay, and I'm sure everybody else is glad they can afford it. And I'm thankful. I'd love to have something different or more, but I don't at the moment. Anyway. I didn't think I'd ever have the equipment I have now. It's crazy. Told me I would have spent this much money. I would have said, "No, you're wrong. I wouldn't do that." But I did it. Anyway, no, having fun is the key.
You said that if you expected your job to be fun, you would be.
Joy about work, and what I did was I'd spend 2 days just writing out, things.
Yeah, but we got through it. Now we're retired, so I'll let.
And retired in Mount Juliet, Kilo Mike 4, Victor, down there. What you up to?
Oh, I tell you about 511, Mr. Bob. Good evening to you and everybody on that. How are you? No, but I think I'm about to find out.
Yeah, I don't know how many years, but I didn't know it was piled. They could pile it that high.
Oh.
I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Oh, yeah, that's standard. So they stacked it that high. So you just don't know. It's a trap any way you cut it. You know that.
Yeah, no, it's like the trap when you ask somebody, it's a problem.
I don't know that one, Tim.
It's the way you automatically you impugn someone's character without them even giving an answer, because everybody goes, "Oh, his wife's got a gambling problem." I see.
Well, yeah. Boy, I tell you what, they run away with that. You know, character assassination is just a polite form of murder.
No, that's not a good thing. Not a good thing. That's why we have laws against it, actually.
Oh, really? What's the law?
Yeah, except I was just joking. In this case, no, I think it's the two different forms that, the libel and the slander stuff. It is illegal. In my opinion, you smell like horse doo-doo.
Well, would it be fair to say that the best bumper sticker I ever have seen was lawyers eat?
Yeah, that's right. Now, I say that I've said that about lawyers, but everybody hates lawyers until their son, daughter, brother, sister, or themselves gets arrested.
I know it.
Oh yeah, no question about it. And but yeah, I don't want to have to account for all my bad activities over the decades. But I think hopefully I'm forgiven. All right, David. Anything else for the?
Oh, nothing, Mr. Ball. Just glad to be able to get on this thing and appreciate what you do. 7th grade, everyone out there. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you're bumping up against S7 there. You're doing really good. That was David, Kilo India 4 November Delta November. Eville, one of the not one of the farther ones, but fairly far out in the sticks, so to speak. Anybody else south of 40, south of Montjuic? Over to the east then, east of Montjuic. Boy, we're striking out here. Is this thing on? Yeah, I had somebody double there, but the double, hang on. How you doing? Oh.
Yeah, I went to work yesterday.
Cool. Everything going all right? You feel good at work now after all that time off?
No, not really. I think my ergonomic changes at work, so I sit there for any length of time.
It's a little different. In fact, I noticed that the other day I was doing some strenuous Monday on some trees, and I paid for it the next day. I thought, man, that's.
Yeah, when you don't do something for a while, and you do that, kind of get a little bit sore.
Yeah, a little bit. Come up, but I hope it doesn't get worse with age. But I'm afraid.
Maybe not, Paul. I won't hug you up back in that KM4HQ.
Yeah, very good. That was Stan, Kilo Mike 4.
KB4 SFM.
How are you doing?
Very well. Thought I'd check in here. I actually remembered. I feel better about myself. And the problems you have with getting older do not improve with age. Back to that.
No, it's like they say, of all the things I've lost, it's my mind I miss the most. Memory's the first to go, and I don't know what the second thing is. Well, it's good to have you in there, Tom. Sound good? Antenna hooked up, I'm presuming you still have it hooked up.
Yes, I find it receives much switch in the on position. 73 to everyone, KB4 SFM.
Yeah, very good, Tom. Good to have you in there. Again, Foxtrot November. He's over in Martha, Tennessee. Of course, he's in Martha. Martha in Wilson County in Tennessee. We know that. Please come in.
D4 DC.
Hey, Earl. You doing okay?
Yeah, doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Are you using full power tonight?
No. Back up where I was at last time I talked to you. Might be a little on my end too. So that's just sheer propagation out there.
Yeah, I know. I was just noticing you were like S2 or S3, excuse me. And years ago, when you're on the air in the evening, I think with Ray and somebody else. You were the S7, you know, bumping up against S7. So I don't know. I didn't know if it was a power issue in a different antenna.
Okay. Well, there's my 13B2 that make it.
That's what you're looking for, conditions, good conditions, or better conditions.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave anybody out. I didn't, want to hurt nobody's feelings by having propagation for my high there today.
Well, what you're really saying is you don't want to wisdom of your nuggets of wisdom here on the.
Yeah, there you go. They can do this too.
Now you're doing good at that S7. You're really doing good. It's good audio. Good, Earl. That's Earl. He's in Noreen, just east of Cedars 11 on Park, and it's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echoes. Has improved signal over time, but he's still in a rough spot for me on occasion, just due to terrain issues, and sometimes when the terrain issues, and he gets a little low, but I can still hear him. I'm pretty sure he can still hear me. Who else we got east? Please come in. I don't know. I can sit here. It doesn't matter.
Before yet, trying to figure out where all my cables are that I did.
A marker, and I write right on the cable so I don't forget.
Get out or get rubbed off.
No, then I have to guess which one it's going to do. It says.
It seems to be my problem too. Hope everybody's doing okay. So let's check in. And thanks for doing the net tonight.
Appreciate you being there, Eddie. That's Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray, and he is in Gladeville, just south of 40 and east of my for a short bicycle ride. Not too far. It's a nice little area. Who else? Please come in.
KB4 RSM Mobile.
KB4 RSM. How are you doing tonight, Mobile?
Fine, Paul. Mobile in Lebanon at the moment, heading back toward Mount Juliet.
You hearing everybody okay, or have you been on long?
Oh, say again?
I see you not very long.
I haven't been on long. No, just got back in the truck.
Okay, so I just didn't know how well you received everybody.
I've heard the last two, and picked them up.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you called. I'm glad you checked in. What was the name of that free software you said?
Well, I might have told you about DaVinci Resolve for my video editing. About that with you. For the pictures, what I use is Adobe Lightroom, which.
No, it's not free. Lightroom by itself, right? Do you rent that like everybody else, or did you buy a copy one time? Yeah, because I had at one time the full product line of Adobe, and I just, and it was, I got it on a discounted rate at the time, and it was like 25 or 30 bucks a month. And I said, I don't use $300 something worth of this, so I dropped it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean. When I first got Lightroom, I got it by, if I'm remembering correctly, pretty inexpensively, actually. And so it was a while before I actually went to that for a little bit, but it's through work, and we use some of their other stuff. So finally had to bite that.
Well, it's not too old. It only misses a couple of features of Adobe Photoshop, and that was, I think, CS is the one I had. That's what I had.
Yep. When it was standalone also, but yeah, I don't really use it as much anymore as the things I do to my images. Lightroom takes care of now, and I don't do a whole lot of just the quick thing I go to, and of course it also organizes and lets me tag them and all that. So I print from it, so I think it does the job for me.
Yeah. With Photoshop?
It probably is. I think you need one of the cheaper subscription packages, the photography package or whatever, I do believe includes both of those.
remember now, Paul. I'm not sure.
They weren't too memorable, one of the two. I'll send them to you again. I just didn't want. I wanted to take a look at some of my handiwork.
That's funny. Yeah, actually, I don't. If I get back and see that I did, I'll let you know. But I don't think I did.
It was a couple weeks ago. I can see when it was sent, but not a big. An advanced amateur photographer. I thought you might like to see what I was doing.
Yeah, super. Send them my way.
All right, very yeah. I have some of them on Flickr.
Would have remembered that. I don't remember seeing it. So either it didn't make it to me or got spammed or something. I'll certainly look for it.
Off of the QRZ site?
It should be okay, but yeah, it's Glenn at glensworld.com.
Yeah, very good. Sounds like a TV show.
I think I originally did that years ago, just after the Wayne's World thing, but it's funny.
It works. All right, very good. That was Glenn. It's Kilo Bravo 4 Romeo. Who else we got east this week? Anybody east? All right, going up to the north then, north of Mount Juliet. Double hold on there, Dan. You doing all right?
Yeah, Paul. Well, I suppose.
I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, well, I'm operating remote, and I don't know what I've done. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it is going remote, and it's going through a garbled, very narrow straw.
Okay. Well, I got a crap internet connection. I'm in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, and the connection here is really slow. Got a lot of latency. So, okay. And get back out of the way. And 73. We'll try this.
All right, very good. That was Danny checking in remotely on his remote connection to his home machine, but the internet connections. It's interesting, but and I'm glad he can. He's at in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Hotel, working off an hour behind us, so it's only 7:30 there. And that's Whiskey Echo for Echo. He's usually in Hendersonville with a killer signal. Vegas. Anybody else know?
Bravo, Oscar, Quebec.
Okay, you can go to bed now. Thanks.
Huh?
You can go to bed. You said you were going to check in and go to bed.
Hey, by the way, you're on 1414. Your radio is needing calibration because we just got it back. Fun day today. I got my multi-band, inverted V working. I got up early and got to bed late last night, so I'm going to go to bed. But I just remembered that I have to make yogurt tonight. I eat a lot of yogurt. I make it a gallon at a time. And man, it's so good. I have fun making it. Have you ever made it?
What do you have to put in?
You get the milk up to 180 degrees, and then you let it sit at 180 degrees for about 30 minutes. If you get it too hot, it will kill bacteria that you still want to leave. Some of the bacteria, but not all of it, is what I've read. So you keep it at 180 for like 30 minutes, and then you cool it off to 120. When it reaches 120, you got to put the bacteria. You got to introduce the yogurt bacteria to it. And what I do is put in like a quarter cup of the whey, and that's enough bacteria to. You just let it sit at 110 overnight, 12 hours, and you got a really nice yogurt the next morning.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know. How did you ever make sourdough?
No, my wife has.
You know the way I used to make. I haven't made it in years. A certain amount of flour. You can use an external yeast, like you buy at the store, but you can actually just take flour and water. Open container. You leave it set for a day and a half or so on top of the refrigerator, and then you just put it in the refrigerator. The cultures that come from the natural bacteria that's in the air will end up in there. And it'll culture out, and kind of soft rising because not all Those.
It's rotten.
Yeah, it's kind of like, how do you know when sour cream goes bad?
I don't know if anybody knows this, but yogurt and sour cream are exactly the same color. The sour cream is, of course, is just made with cream. And if you're trying to cut down on fat, should be, try using Greek yogurt where you would use sour cream. It's really, really good.
Yeah, in fact, Greek yogurt, Greek in sour cream.
Not for me. And the way I make Greek yogurt, and Greek yogurt is nothing but regular. So it takes 24 hours to make Greek yogurt.
Oh, man. Kroger's good.
No, it's not as good. It's cheaper too. I mean, I eat yogurt once a day for breakfast, and it's about 10 days, so it's way cheaper.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like it. Of course, I'd probably eat the gallon in 2 days.
Well, anyway, that's what I'm going to do before I go to bed. But yeah, I had fun. I got my antenna working. I turned up on all. It was fun.
Oh, cool. Now, which antenna was that you did 17 on?
I built a 160-meter inverted V, and it took me like 2 weeks to find the perfect combination to 6 meters. 6 meters is the trickiest. 40, I'm not sure yet, but I don't know why 40 is such a problem. It always has been, but I was able to talk on all bands today, so I was really happy.
Now you got to just learn CW, and you can even talk to more people.
Now that I got this project done, I'm going to put my 20-meter in.
A good antenna system there, though. It worked that well on all those bands.
I'm really glad it worked out. Well, anyway, thank you, Paul. Back to net, and not to be rude, but I'm not going to be able to see. I get to bed before 10.
All right, sounds good. Turn into a pumpkin. That's Whiskey 9, Bravo, Oscar, Quebec. It's Dennis. He's got a nice setup over there with a nice 160 inverted V that he's been working all over the place. And plus his other is power in a little. And an X700 antenna similar to mine and others. So he's done a great job up there in Castellian Springs.
KB9 RKK. I fell asleep.
Hey, cars. You know, there's a guy, and I can't think of his name right now. Let me look it up real quick. There's a guy on YouTube that does nothing but talk about cars. Hang on. He's an interesting guy. I'll get to it in a second. Hang on a second. I hate to be a delay like this. I should have had it ready for you. An older Corolla to an all-electric car.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I actually worked with a guy that did that. He did all kinds of goofy. Some of it was interesting. He had an old Mercedes. I can't recall the model. It's a fairly big car. He run on old oil. It was a diesel, and he made it work on biodiesel. And then he took another car, and so it wouldn't have to cost as much money to get it going. And then he converted his other car to an electric motor. So yeah, with that is if you got to have a good way to control it, or else the motors are very powerful.
Yeah, Scotty Kill on YouTube. I don't know if you ever seen him.
Yeah, that's the guy that my wife sometimes like, oh, I can't see him after a while. There and yeah, he's from Texas. He has the Army Ranger thing. When he rev up your engines, guy. That's who that is.
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but if somebody's got good information, I don't care if they're annoying or not.
Oh yeah. Sometimes he's very biased. He loves Toyota. That's his favorite.
Well, I got to give it to some of these guys. They really made some nice, reliable vehicles.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things, newer stuff, but I think that everything's getting. got radar systems now in the cars. The dealers are like probably scrambling trying to figure out how the heck do we all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I just by pushing it, I think it's really going to create a change. I think there'll be a lot of people that'll be going back and rehabbing older vehicles without all the sophistication, because it takes a lot to work on all that sophistication that's going on vehicles.
Yeah. My wife's father, he used to be a mechanic, and I remember, I heard the story. He opened up the hood of her. She had a Concorde. It was a '97, so that's old now. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll tell you what's wrong with it, but I'm not working on it." And he shut the hood back.
Yeah, I know. But we all tend to do that. We'd say, "Hey, I remember when you could fix everything on your car," and then all you can do now is just look and go, "Huh, I don't know what to do." So it's kind of interesting how things have changed due to that technology. It's all worked out best for vehicles in terms of reliability. It's just that I don't have equipment to even, the biggest equipment I had was a timing light.
Yeah, and we're born after the carburetor went out of use in then shortly after that they stopped putting them even on motorcycles. Everything was fuel injected. But I know what you mean. To use that anymore because I can check that all with my computer now. I don't even have a distributor. Most cars don't. I just worked on a blade, and I had to mess with the distributor. I'm like, yeah, I don't miss this. I actually like some of the modern stuff. So it explain that.
No, you're right. If you learn what the problems are and make the necessary changes sometimes in the software to accommodate do it on cars. I did it on buildings and building control systems. It's great when you can do something sitting at a terminal and go, okay, I know what the problem. No big thing. Control systems.
Yeah, we have that. What are you can hook up with a cell phone if you really wanted to, but most of it's through the internet, and only some of the real industrial customers are going to do that. But yeah, it's kind of neat that you can, basically you get. We got everyone. It's not from us, but we have access to it, and they'll call up and say, "Oh, we're having this problem," and then we can go, "Really?" We can go check it so that we can troubleshoot more accurately. So yeah, I'll agree that.
No, it is because it's and even on the newer cars I don't know a whole lot about how they do it, but I'm told that a lot of things that have they do software upgrades to they go, okay, this needs to be changed for the transmission controls and the engine controls, and they just give it a new download, or an upload for to the memory for changes, and it's no big thing.
Yeah, and sometimes there's the firmware update, and they charge. You got to buy a 1-day subscription or a one-time use. You have to buy the equipment. It's pretty expensive. I have to. It's basically like a fake version of it. I mean, for some of the GM stuff, but it gets you still have to pay the subscription if you want to download. Like you want to program it. Working on that kind of stuff. I'll just bring it to the dealer. They only charge me 1 hour to.
Yeah, I know. Well, they've always been that way with proprietary stuff, so I'm not too shocked. Just like the parts prices, the proprietary stuff gets. Well, listen, Frank, great talking to you. Glad you could check in. So I'm glad you woke up. That's Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo here in Montana. Please come on. Okay, there was a double in there. Hold on, let me take Richard first. I don't know who the other party was, but it was a perfectly scrambled double. How you doing, Richard?
All right, I'm having another issue with my power supply, and I'm just trying to get to you because I'm on low power. But anyway, hope everybody 73. Thank you for what you do, and I'll holler back at you after a while. KI4SIB.
Let's stop buying those Goodwill power supplies.
But as a matter of fact, this dadgum thing that I'm talking with is a pyramid, 35 amp. Supposed to be output. It's supposed to be one of the best in the business, but tonight it's rearing its ugly head.
Though, didn't you?
Yeah, that was another pyramid I'd been running for years, and it finally decided to take a dump. It was a 12 pound brother, and it had done a good job to a point, but then it decided to run its ugly head.
80 volts or something?
No, not 110.
I got you. Yeah, that's well, a string of bad luck. I got another one if you want to. Well, it's you can't use it on 50 watts. It's a lower wattage, lower amperage.
Trick up my sleeve I may be able to use, but I'll have to hook it up and say, have a great night. Thank you for what you do again, KI4SIB.
All righty, very good. It was Richard, Kilo India 4 Sierra. He's in just west of Lebanon. Who else we got? North.
Kilo Echo 4 Romeo.
Hey, Brent, haven't heard from you in a little bit. You doubled perfectly with Richard, and he won.
Yeah, boy, he sounded good over here.
He was having problems with his power. He sounded good to me. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it, but he sounded. He's been having some power supply problems. It is, but I think the utility and lowered his voltage or something.
Yeah, he's probably not pedaled his bicycle enough.
And you been busy?
Yeah, I've been busy, and I kind of took a little video for the first of the month. I don't know. I was just, sometimes you burn out.
Yeah, I don't know. I just keep trucking along here. Somebody told me I was a type A personality. I said, nah, I think it's more like a B minus. Well, I don't. I went into. I had these, and I got resolved in another way. But I had these terrible pains in my head, in my chest. It's a long story, but anyway, really just horrible. Laying in the bed in the emergency room, and the doctor says to me, he says, "Are you an athlete?" I said, "No, not really. No. I was still smoking too." He goes, "Are you, are you?" And I said, "No." Why are you asking me this? He says, "Well, it's obvious you're in a lot of pain." He says, "Your blood pressure is still like 120/70." I go, "Well, I don't know. I guess the pain bothers me a lot, but it doesn't affect."
And I ended up in the emergency room from some of those.
The doctor told me this. He says, "No, you got anxiety problems." I said, and I said, "Listen, you don't know me. I don't know you. We just met 5 minutes ago." And I said, "I'm probably the least anxious person you meet in quite some time. I'm sure there's less, but I said, very few things bother me that I'm going to get called relaxed. So just put that aside. I'm not anxious, okay?"
And you screamed in his face and said, "You're screwing me up."
Yeah, that's right. No, it was his diagnosis was 100% wrong, because he actually, the next step was this. He goes, his answer was, no joke, "You have anxiety you don't know about." Yeah, well, I never went to see him again.
I've had a few doctors I never went back to either.
Anyway, but he wasn't very smart at the time. Him and his automatic give me a year's prescription to an one of those Prozac type drugs.
There was such a push for people to be on that stuff probably about 8 or 9 years ago that I swear they were feeding that to everybody.
Yeah, doctors, I think, get into that mode. Well,
get into that mode because there's a little bit of incentive.
Get trips to Puerto Rico and Hawaii, and those things.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, well, very good, and to get new carpet in their lobby of their office. That was Brent, Kilo Bravo 4 Romeo Victor, Quebec, and he's in north side of get to the river up there, the lake, the river, whichever we're calling it. I did get that right, didn't I? Kilo Bravo 4.
Kilo Bravo.
All right, who else? Anybody else north?
VUW.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't catch all that. I doubled with you accidentally. Say that again.
Kilo Delta 4. KD4 VUW. Carlin.
Hey, Carlin, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I just happened to sit down here Wednesday night. I think they're doing that net tonight. So I turned down here and voila, there you were.
Yeah, we like I've said before many times, we're the only net I know of that gives hams 2 times a week to miss the net.
Let's see, you did it on Wednesday and what, Saturday night?
That's affirmative.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Saturday, so I wasn't too sure. But, well, I'm on the FTM 400. It only does about 50 watts. Had a little fun with it here a couple of days ago. I went and got, I'd been reading on the internet and stuff about how people, some to his, and he couldn't get it to link. Tech support. And they told me, oh, you can't get none of those things to link up like that. So I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll think about it a little bit out there and sell it as an accessory and knowingly do. So I kept researching and researching. Finally, I went over to Japan and I found some information over there that told me, well, I did that. Mine's working perfectly fine.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I think people give up on that stuff. The rep, whoever it was, the retailer, that who sold the equipment, rather than screw with it, just
Yeah, that was HRO. But what got me was Gazzy Tech Support was telling me it wouldn't work, and I'm going like, after I'm getting mine working.
Oh, that's funny. And you were just trying to connect it up to your radio.
And it's a Bluetooth headset, and it transmits the receive back to the headset, and when I start talking, it bonds. And so I could be anywhere in the house talking on this radio right here. So, of course, I'm not running it right now, but is what I got. It works perfect. So, about the only thing I've done around here, I guess. It's exciting. Oh yeah, I was thinking while you were talking about the anxiety there stuff. Tell you one thing you might get anxious about. That would be if it was a new ham radio, because I don't know bug that. Oh, I've got to have that radio.
Oh yeah, I don't call it anxiety. That's just wishful thinking. I think, oh yeah, that'd be great. And I said, do I have the money? And then I think about the money, and I go, yeah, I got enough to buy it. And then I find the same thing. People want a new car when their old one works just fine. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
Oh yeah. Bunch of them out there. Well, not a whole bunch of them, but there's always some of them out there thinking that that's going to be the holy grail of all radios if I can get it, and it's going to outdo everyone that's ever been manufactured before it. So it kind of gets me when that goes on. Okay, well, I'll check out of here and let you get on and get some more check-ins. I don't know how many you're up to, but just happened to get down here in time to hear that was going. It sounds like it's going okay. Yeah, the power supply deal with the pyramid. I don't, and it got word that, and what it ended up being was that big. They got that big. The actual electronic board is sitting down on top of it. That's what's holding. Power supply was probably going on push. All I had to do is just order up another cap. I went to Mount a little bit bigger. I put a 35 volt one in. When it was in, it was rated at 25 volts, and that's one of the things I learned in some of my electronics training. Was sitting on the shelf, so I could took that power supply from my TS2000 full. So that 20 amp power supply, it was just sitting there just quiet as it be. 100 watt out, so I don't know. All right, well, with that said, I'm going to clear out of here and let you get on with the net there. So, and y'all have a nice night, and I'll be clear.
Carlin Kilo, Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey, and he's up in Bethpage. Anybody else north, please come in. Check-ins, please come in.
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Hey, John, you doing all right? You must have fallen asleep.
Realize what
time it was.
Oh, I got you. Too hard. Copy. I said, you were. I lost you.
I realized when I reached over to turn my phone off, I bumped the dial on the radio.
Okay, I wonder what happened to you. But you were ignoring me, which I'm used to that.
No.
Yep, that's not going to work over here.
No.
Putting in that new fence, the whole fence around the property, which I'm.
Yeah, that changes the entire look and attitude of a property. You're going to enjoy that, I believe.
Well, wooden fence, and it's been up there a long time, and it was ratty, and rotting in certain areas, and propped up in others, and it looked. I had the funds and pulled the trigger on 380 or 400, no, about 400, somewhere around 400 feet of this vinyl fence.
Yeah, I've discovered fences do make good neighbors.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a run-in with my neighbor. He was ticked off because I cut some of the trees that were my property here. He was all ticked off about it.
Well, they'll live.
Oh, I know. It doesn't bother me. My property butts up against what this used to be his family lives on that property, or his extended family, his son or grandson or something. But anyway, he real nice fella actually, but it was his either daughter or daughter-in-law. He was about 50 something. She came over and tried to read me the riot act and said, "You should have told me about this." Just never doing. And I think I did my job. She goes, "Well, you're telling these who didn't even remember that you stopped by." I said, "I'm sorry that she doesn't do that. They can't understand things, but I did go over to your house and tell you since I don't."
70-year-old is not your problem.
No, whatever the problem. But I said I did my. She should have called me. I go, "Man, I don't even know your name."
Yeah, it all.
Oh, I know it does. I'm not worried about it. I was very civil and polite, even though she was not very nice at the moment. I'm hoping she's not. All right, well, very good, John. Good to have you in there. Hope you're getting all your projects done. Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo, and he's in Bell. Anybody else late checking?
AR4AZ.
All righty. How you doing there? Beat the lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers. That's what you did.
Had antennas hooked up. We was gone yesterday. I unhooked them because of the rain is supposedly going to move through. Just hooked them up. I said, "Well, I might get on the Bible net tomorrow." And then it hit me. I said, "Uh-oh." I said, "I bet I'm lollygagging on the blind hog finding nature every now and then, or a blind squirrel."
Yeah, it's I actually I miss people when they don't show up, and if I remember that they missed, I mean it's somehow probably roughly 40 regular / semi-regular check-ins, and so after a couple of nets or where you been? Yeah.
I was here Saturday, but sometimes get twisted around. Things twisted around the action. So anyway, glad to make it in here. Hope everybody else is doing all right. I'll turn it back over to you. Let you get. You got to get to the lollygaggers, sure. So take care, Paul. KR4AZ there.
In Murfreesboro, do we have any other late check? How about SDR scanner listeners, preppers, and the last category? Oh yeah, the end time survivors. All right, nothing. We got 20 check-ins tonight. Very good group. Glad to have you all in there. I had enough time to run out and get some dog food for the dogs. I will catch you tonight. This is K4PEW closing on that. Appreciate everybody who's here. See you later.